Hey folks, it's the end of the year, and today we'll talk about the artificial intelligence, artificial agents, and all of the things as usually. And I would say that this year and actually the part of the previous year, we have the artificial intelligence boom. That practically every company try to apply the artificial intelligence. Everybody gets crazy about ChatGPT. Everybody was crazy about the AI tools. And some companies have extremely successful cases, like Klarna, for example, where they really automate a lot of processes and fire tons of people, and so on. But majority of the companies fail. Majority of the companies fail to use the AI, and we will see even more. I'm not talking about the startups because I understand that there's a lot of hypes. Investors are ready to invest, and a lot of people just open something that usually just a wrapper around the chat GPT. And if you're not adding the added value, probably it doesn't make sense. But we will talk about why companies are failing and actually what to do with it. And the main problem that people could not realize one simple thing, one simple fact that your artificial intelligence strategy should be your data strategy. That's it. We have not so much tasks that we could automate and get the value when we have just rough bar LLM that we could create a chatbot that will give you some random answers. Usually, your chatbot should be the company data and company domain aware. And then we realize that your IE strategy for your company actually is the data strategy. It's a data strategy, and it's a hard process to see the data of your company as a data product. And what it means that usually companies have a lot of data, but this data distributed across the company, they have completely different owners. They stored in completely different storage. They have absolutely different shapes and talk completely different language. And the process of getting them together, create the common language, remove the differences, and making them work together could take the years. And sometimes we have the problem of the access to the data and ownership of the data, because sometimes we have the owners that even inside the company they try to protect their data because they see that it's a main advantage for them not to give you the access to it. And it's ridiculous, especially in a single organization, that we have this case. But it's true that we have a lot of internal fights. And even if we will try and sit together and try to find the data schema that the entire company could use and common vocabulary, quite usually on this stage we fail. And try to sit together and find the core. It's extremely hard. So one of the big of the problem of the corporate data actually that this data is not linked. This data is isolated. They usually stored in a tables, and in the relational databases you have some kind of relations actually because it's relational databases, but the data is isolated. They alone and they not work together and they not scale for sure. And the answer how we could make this data connected, how we could make this data work together, actually it's the knowledge graphs. Because the knowledge graph could build this layer on top of the heterogeneous sources of the data that link the data together, create the common dictionary, create the common taxonomies, hierarchies, ontologies that explain the data to others, that build a layer that normalize the data and allow these data sources to talk to each other. So the big idea actually is to grab all the isolated data across the organization and make them work together through the knowledge graphs, through the common ontologies, through the common language that could be understand not by people only, but by machines and LLMs. And how to make this data accessible to the LLM, it's a big topic. And one of the quite important intellectual property of the company, it's not just data itself, but it's a core ontology that describe deeply domain, describe deeply what you're doing, put the meaning to the data, involve some brain of knowledge experts, ontologists, field experts, and all other people that really explain to others what all this massive amount of data points actually mean. So your artificial intelligence strategy probably it's your data strategy, and even more probably the core of your data strategy should be the knowledge graphs and ontology cores that interconnect the data and expose this data to the LLMs. And we already know that actually LLMs work quite good with the knowledge graphs, and the knowledge graphs build the extra layer on top of the LLM that help us to remove the hallucination, do the reasoning, do the knowledge discovery, get the new facts, create the new links, or maybe discover even missing entities, or do the normalization and entity recognition, and all other things that we so keen about. So, why companies fail? Because they don't think about the data. Why companies fail? Because they don't think about their product as a data product. So if you will build more data products and data focused applications, then maybe we will get the ultimate answer how to apply the artificial intelligence to this massive amount of data that we will already understand. And it's a higher probability if team understand the data, maybe AI will understand the data better, and maybe we could tune the prompts or build the specific models to do the tasks better. And actually it's a good start of the good AI strategy, it's a good data strategy. So that's all that I was keen to share with you. I wish you the Merry Christmas and a good end of the year. Have a happy holidays. Subscribe to our channel. Choose